surrounding them with leaves. I forgot one over here. Okay. So we're a little early, but we can take the break now before I get into the bushes and the flowers. We can take the break now and then come back by 8 o'clock. That's 7.5 minutes. Does that sound good?
So everyone, you have an 8-minute break until 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining us for the first half of session 4, which is our final session for this term. We will be coming back though in the middle of June, where I will be teaching and Laurelie will be moderating.
May, no?
Oh, sorry, May, and it's May till June. This is the last session for this series of workshops.
All right, see you in a few minutes. I'm gonna check my sketchbook for the photo.
We do not have the recordings up yet, unfortunately, but they are coming. So apologies for that, but please be patient. And previous classes will hopefully be up soon on YouTube. They'll be on the Leighton House channel.
We'll send you an email when that happens. I think we did that last time too. I found it.
Laurelie, there are a couple of questions here about the clouds from last week.
Yeah.
So Becky is asking whether you could please show everyone the clouds from last week, because I think she missed the last part of the class. And also Claire is asking whether the clouds are inside or outside of the arches.
They're in the area around the arches. I don't know if that answers your question. Here are the fruits. Here's your pomegranate. Here. When asking about showing the clouds, you mean showing a demonstration? Because I can't. Because
I think she means just your finished art from last week. If you have them.
I don't know where they are right now, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't know where they are right now because I cleaned up in the studio. Well, I didn't clean up, to be honest. That's why I don't know where they are.
Lucky you.
It's getting kind of crazy in here and I need some help.
Well, you just need to do that.
Yeah.
Shift everything around. So sorry, Becky, it looks like Laurelie doesn't have the one.
But
what's the record?
But already in the handout where you should be able, yeah, exactly, Sabah. Henry is really fantastic at knocking things over, breaking things. We have a garden sink, and yesterday he was playing around with one of the flower pots and smacked the flower pot onto the ceramic washing, and it's broken. So know how much it's going to cost to replace. That's what I'm thinking about.
Sabika, I'll have a go at answering your question, and Laurelie can also give her input. Questions about how can we differentiate between different motifs from different periods. So, for example, what is a Safavid motif? What's an Ottoman motif? I think that's just a case of looking at lots of examples of art from those periods. That's how you start to learn, really. And the more examples you can look at, you kind of build up like a catalogue of motifs in your mind, or at least that's how it feels to me anyway. And you know, sometimes you can sort of differentiate between different styles and different periods and different parts of the world as well. So it's really just to keep looking, keep noticing, and the more you look and the more time you spend on it, the more refined your own eye becomes, so you can sort of notice the differences between things.
And then also there are everything what Ayesha said, I agree with. And on top of that, there are certain motifs that you have in certain regions that other regions don't have. They especially with the Mughal interesting is also some of the different influences that come into Mughal, and there were some craftspeople that were actually sent. I want to get this story right. There were some craftspeople who were sent, I believe, to Europe, or there's a book that they had received that had a lot of botanical drawings in it. So then all of a sudden it's become very almost Dutch painterly. This is much later. But yeah, it's very interesting. What is the okay. There was something else. I can't remember. And then also within each kind of time period, there are different schools too, which like just completely add to it. So you have like and they're usually geographically based. So within this time period, you can have the Shirazi school, the Tabrizi school, the Isfahan school, the Herat school, Khorasan, Tabriz, Shiraz, Herat school, all here. So I'm telling you, I know everyone kind of laughs at me when I suggest Pinterest, but you can boards. You can organize these different way to do it too. I love organizing my art historical finds.
That's very true. There's a question about the books that you mentioned, Laurelie.
Which books?
Some reference books earlier that people are.
My boards, are they public on Pinterest? I have no idea. I'm using it. It might be public. If you look at ateliers, so if you find me and they're public, then they're public. Yeah, we'll look at those just quickly while everyone's coming back, the reference books. So this is a sketchbook of mine, not a reference. Okay, so Botanicum is one.
Oh, I
This
love
is the
that book.
Turkish version, but yeah, exactly. The whole series is incredible.
Yes.
I'm gonna move this up so you can see. And the carpet pages are just, ugh.
I'm actually working with this publisher at the moment, not on a book like this, but yeah, the same. It's Big Picture Press, isn't it? I think.
Well, I mean, this is the Turkish publishing of it, so I'm not sure. But it is a UK based, right?
Yes.
So you can see.
And somebody's just asking who the author is.
The author is Katie Scott and Kathy Willis. I think Katie Scott is the illustrator, to be honest. If you write Botanicum, it's probably going to be one of the first things that come up. So yeah, different flowers. They can give you these flowers in some stuff. I think these are fuchsia, magnolia. Yeah, so this is one. Next, I'm going to show you. It's an example that you could look at. This is the botanical garden here. The chances of you finding this are probably slim. This is if you have a botanical garden or check other botanical gardens publications online, and that could help. This one, it's a combination of botanical garden and then botanical drawings that you find within the Turkish tradition. It comes with all of this stuff. So the banana, Hayat, what the heck is Hayat again in English? Yarrow, I think. I think that's what that is. So lots of wonderful. So this is another reference point too. Lots of wonderful. They call these mountain strawberries in Turkish. Apparently they're edible. I've had them before. They have a really weird texture, but they taste really nice. Not like a strawberry either. So
I've had those too. I can't remember the name for it now. But it's a something strawberry as well. I can't remember.
Ah, interesting. This is, I think, St. John's wort here. So there's lots of different ideas. One of the important things is like getting the growth pattern right. That's what's going to make your patterns believable, is that, you know, you've got these leaves along the stem, and then at the top we have some supporting leaves and the bud or the flower.
Sorry, Laurelie, what was the reference for that second book?
How good's your Turkish?
Laughable.
Bitki ressamlığı.
Okay.
And there's no author. It is by the Zeytinburnu municipality. And is that all I want to show you? I think so. Again, the book from last week, I think most people are having a hard time finding it. I don't know if they stopped producing it. I'm not sure. This one, there is a flower and tree and rock and cloud and all that jazz section. Right. Okay. Let's put this stuff down. Now, what I'm going to do, because I have my lovely friends here on, I think it's a little bit larger than 8. I'm going to take my, yeah, it is a little bit larger. That's not going to work. I'm trying to think, what am I going to do? I thought it was A4. Yeah, A4. All right. I'm going to, so basically what I'm doing is I'm very fast redoing my arch so that I can get these in. So 12.
Laurelie, who was the author for Instructing Portraiture? I think we had this last week, but I don't have the reference to hand.
Bachman with an H, Bachman, Sharifi.
Sharifi.
Yep. So what you can do is you can add your arch on if you don't have it already. I'm going to draw mine in.
Karen,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you want us to explain, which bit. If you can let me know, then I'll ask Laurelie. Okay, so Karen is
That's a whole
asking.
other class. That's a whole other class. I am just doing this for this sake because my page is larger than the one we were working on last week. The proportions of the arch are in last week's class. So you don't need to do this at the moment. I'm just doing this. You can catch up with the class later. My apologies. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't have time to go through that. That was a whole entire class last week. Yeah, we did that last week.
So Karen, I guess the answer is if you want the arch, then just to do it freehand as best as you can. And if we've got the resources, maybe she could download and use that as a template.
If she has the registration, which she obviously does, there's a link for the Google Drive, and in there you have the handouts for all of the past classes. It's not just for one. So you've got all of the handouts there. Okay, so you can see here. Now I'm thinking to myself, perhaps I will draw, actually I'm going to ground. Can you just explain?
Yes, I'm just going to, sorry, about the figures.
Explain that, yeah.
Yes,
sure.
so yes, so if you, like Laurelie said, if you go back into your emails for the registration for this class, there is a link to the Google Drive, which contains all of the handouts for all of the previous classes as well. So you'll find the figures in there. That the figures are from a previous week.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tayira.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to work on this side, and then I have the lady figure we can do after. So I'm going to, you can trace your motif. It's faster for me to just redraw this. Putting him beside I will make it darker in a minute. I just need a second. Okay. No, we're not done with them yet. We're going to come back to the flowers in a minute. I'm just getting this going so that it's there and so we don't have crunch time at the end. Because we could sit drawing flowers forever, definitely.
Very true.
And then after, I'll put my flowers in. And maybe even over here, I will put one of these kind of pottery pots, since he's holding a vessel. Just very roughly drawing a pot shape. Maybe with some grass. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so this friend is going to go over there for a minute. And where's my lady? So this is one of my ladies, our very stormy lady. And I think, I'm trying to think to myself. I think I will show you the tulip. It's different. It's not really saffovit actually. But since we're in the spirit of not following the rules, we're going to learn this one, and this small one. The other ones, the instructions are clear. They're hand drawing, so you have to get the feel of it. So. Yeah, I think she would look nice with some tulips. All right. Yeah, it's visible. Okay. So the first one that we're going to do, you've already got the hang of the, little 5-petaled flowers. First one we're going to do to get us ready for the tulip is, I'm not exactly sure what the flower is. I'm not going to give it a name, but we're going to start this with a very long stem. It's got a bit of a curve to it, like so. And then just put a grounding line like that. On the top of your line, you're going to make an oval, but I'll show you what I mean by that. Kind of comes out like a balloon. And then draw a smaller circle, the base. So we're going to have a middle petal, 2 on the side, and 2 kind of leaf-like petals on the bottom. Then we extend the stem down. We have a little bud coming up here. And then we have some leaves. So I draw the line, the middle line first. Like so.
There's a business opportunity for you here, Laurelie.
I saw that.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I can find them. But they're already imported into Turkey. So I'm not sure. If you send me an email, I'll have it in my memory and then I'll check because I actually have to go there. I was supposed to go there today, but I had something I had to take care of and I have to go there tomorrow because I didn't go today. So I can check to see if they're in stock in the store itself because sometimes they don't update.
I think that was all last week. Students who
yes, it was. I'm just continuing adding a few leaves. Like so. Okay. So now I like to draw kind of a vertical line for this. It's not necessary, but I do it just because I want to be able to get the bend I want. This is about 10 centimeters. So the top parts, this is going to be the tulip. Sorry. And we're going to draw a large, that's a little too large. I'm going to draw teardrop shape like this. That's our base kind of. And then from here, you draw one leaf out. And then we draw the petals behind. And I just realized it is tulip season right now. Tulips are going to be coming up soon, probably within the next week or so. Okay. Ah, yes, and I just saw my own drawing here. Now, what I like to do is put a leaf, not leaf, petal. On the side, like so. Just kind of hanging out. All right, so I'm going to, it's a very, very slight S bend. And then we can start adding in our leaves. So the bottom, we start the leaves smaller. I think this is a little bit too curved. I'm looking at it now.
Laurelie, I just looked down at my notebook and I remembered that I was meant to ask you about the museum article for the garment. So obviously not right now, as you're busy, but maybe once you get a chance, if you're able to find that. I think the students were quite interested.
If you can Google, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
You can Google Khamseen, so KHAMSEEN, and then write hunting jacket. It should come up.
All right, let's have a look. Well, no, I have lots of ladies' tweed jackets from various places.
Okay, I'll when we're at the end of class, I'll find it.
Let me see. Maybe if I just look at the images, maybe it will. I'll recognize it. No.
Quick second, I can do it. 1 second. Unless I'm remembering wrong. It's a paper. I hope you can't hear that. You hear someone very happy laughing on the street?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your drawing now. I just thought when you have a chance.
Yeah, I can't find it right now. I know that it's definitely 1 second. I know where it is. 1 second.
Oh, Sabah's just posted something. Maybe she's found it. Yes, I think she's found it. Thank you very much.
Is it called The Emperor's Humbler Clothes?
Yes, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, mystery solved. Thank you very much. Okay.
Just somebody mentioned that the lines are a bit faint. So maybe if you're able to just zoom the camera a little bit, if it's comfortable for you, that would be helpful. Thanks.
Also keep in mind that all of these are on the handouts too, right? So this is made as an aid also.
Yes, so just make sure that you're referring to the handouts as well.
Okay, so I will do the small one and then we'll do the large one and then it will be painting time. So small one is anchored by a little rock. Like so. And then we have one line curved going this way. And then from there, we have another coming out, and that's going to be a leaf. Like so. And then we draw a small circle. And we put an oval on top of that. And then almost like a heart shape. Like so. And then so that's our small. flower, and then we can have a few leaves here on the bottom. Like so, okay. All right, so the last one that we're gonna do, you can explore the others. My apologies, we don't have the time to do everything. All right, so the next one is going to be, I'm just checking. Yeah, about 10 centimeters. You can draw a line that's approximately 10 centimeters. And at the bottom, yeah, you can see what I'm drawing an oval, like so. And then almost the same size, just a smidge smaller. Another oval. And then we're gonna go off that line and do this is just the basis for what we're doing. All right, so I'm gonna just erase this midline we've drawn just to lighten it up. And then I'm gonna do an interior oval like so. Yeah, this is about 8. So we have that horizontal line. We can divide it in half again, and then each of those sections in half, like that. This is very like basic by eye geometry. And then for each of these, we have a petal come out. And I want you to be able to see that, like so. Oh, before I forget, because I'm having one of those days where like I don't even realize I've forgotten something, and then it's like, oh. So before I forget, because there's a few things. So we're gonna do the ceramic, which is not so difficult, like painting the ceramics that are in their hands. And then I have created a code for my website for students. I have all of my classes that are recorded up there, especially some of the recent ones. Some students have asked me about that. So, because I love you so much. I'll write the code here just to help a little. It's student caps 20, and you'll get a little discount. Oh, 1 second, what happened here? So there you go. No, not at all, not at all. And that's 20% off of everything but the gift cards. So, be lovely if you continue your Islamic art education. And yeah, if you need any help, there's some, if you're interested in the flowers, then there's quite a few different flower classes too you can check out. So yeah. So when me and Ayesha are ready to retire, we have you guys to take over. I don't have fantasies of being 80 with a compass in my hand.
Oh, I do. I'd love
Well, I mean, not teaching a class, to be honest. I'd like to be just doing it myself somewhere hidden in the forest somewhere. All right, so coming back, I'm dreaming about retiring. I just saw a message here. No, I don't think I'll ever retire. I'll lose my mind if I don't have something to do. Just pipe dreams.
Yes, I'll put the link to the jacket in the chat. I'll just find it again.
Okay, so same principle here, like so. Can you send my website as well? Because I think I'll get that question probably in a few.
Yes.
So we have our two almost identical flowers here. And then we connected them. It's not a straight line, it's kind of tapered. Like so. And we're gonna have some leaves coming out here. So they're serrated. So you could draw a leaf shape first and put the serrations on after. I have to flip this around. Like so. And then the internal veins. Oh yeah, we need something kind of grounding. Maybe some grass or some leaves growing out here. What type of flower is this? This is a very good question. I'm not sure. I've seen it many times in the miniature paintings.
It could be a hollyhock.
Huh?
It may be a hollyhock. I think
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of them are fantastical as well. They're not necessarily real flowers. So just bear that in mind.
Okay. So I'm drawing in these buds here. So what I've done is I've come out with a stem, divided it in 3. And then on each side, same goes for all of these next ones. Did we lose Charlotte?
No, I'm here.
Charlotte had some internet problems earlier, but
yeah, I dropped out temporarily. It was a bit of a scary moment, but I'm here.
Okay.
Sarah's asking, do we recommend a short course on Islamic art history?
Well, Islamic art history is not short.
That's true. It depends, I think, what you're aiming for, Sarah. Do you want, if you want to do practical, like learning the kind of thing that we're doing now, drawing and painting and practice-based art, then art history is probably not the way to go. But if you're looking to learn more about history and context and culture, then yes, art history is what you want. Probably SOAS might do something. I did my degree there. They might offer short courses. I'm not sure. I think also the V&A does short courses, so that might be something to look into.
Each year there's a different focus at SOAS. or each module, I can't remember. There is a program, and I'm gonna not get it right now, but there is a I think community education, and they're really good classes. I took one once. If I remember correctly, I think it was Alhambra. Yeah, really wonderful.
The only thing, because I did my degree at SOAS, so the only thing I would say is that, and this might not bother you at all, and if it doesn't, then that's fine. But it's taught in quite a, it's in a very factual way, and they don't talk about the philosophy or the spirituality or anything sort of deeper than what's on the surface. So it's just very much historical context, which cultures influenced each other, which is valuable, and that's good. But if you're looking for something a bit deeper, then you might not get it from SOAS. Yeah,
and the kind of places that you'll get that kind of information from, it is self-study.
Okay. Well, that's fine then. Yeah. Go ahead. SOAS is probably your thing, or maybe the or elsewhere.
Okay, so I have moved on to my lady over here, and I'm just looking quickly for my motifs that I have ready. Wow, I'm just gonna make one then. Actually, maybe while we're painting, I can take some questions if it doesn't disturb.
Sure. Actually, sorry, maybe I think I just misunderstood Sarah's reply. She says, no, I don't want that. So she does want it. She does want a deeper sort of education. So is there anywhere you suggest?
No, there's never one place you can get it from. That's the long and the short of it. What I can say is that reading different perspectives on, because everyone has their own opinion about Islamic art, you will get, I'm trying to like multitask because I know me, I talk with my hands and then the drawing stops.
Sayyid Hussein Nasser is a good place to start.
But he also has his own, this is what I'm trying to say, is be aware that everyone has their own bias and that everyone has their own beliefs when it comes to it. And then sometimes you get some very academic and it's a very sterile kind of approach to Islamic art. And then sometimes you get some stuff that's like out to the moon too. And I'm kind of someone who's in the middle. So when you read both sides of it, something that's very academic and very dry versus something that has a lot of cultural nuances put into it, I think the real answer or the real understanding is somewhere in between the two of those. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just thinking because maybe what you might want to do is focus more on the practice, because I think kind of through the practice, you gain a deeper understanding of the craft and its meaning and symbolism and sort of all of those aspects that are not necessarily academic.
Yeah.
That might be a way to start as well.
Definitely. And I mean, as someone myself, as someone who works with works in museums and works with museum education and curators, and Leighton House is a museum, of course, too. Depending on the museum and the reasons it was built, you will get publications or exhibitions based on different motives. Not bad ones or anything, but they expose or they highlight certain things about Islamic art that go with the mission statement of the museum. So some museums don't even have an education department. So that actually, you can look at that and understand what the motives and mission of the museum itself are. So why am I saying this? There's a reason why. There's a point I was making. Yeah, I remember now. So I've had some very interesting, sometimes good, sometimes not, conversations with curators that that are very locked into their opinion in an almost scientific kind of way, and use certain language to describe objects that are sometimes, if you see like the living tradition of, you know, tezhip or plasterwork or whatever it may be, craftspeople will use these age-old, handed down from generation to generation techniques, and there's language that go along with that, and it does not match what you see in a museum sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So as I said before, self-study. If you find something that's really interesting to you, hold on to that for dear life and just go with it as long as it has longevity. And it will take you to many different places. I have been studying Islamic art for, I don't know, 14, 15 years. And I can't, I hope it doesn't happen, but I can't see an end in sight of where I think all art is like that, because Islamic art spans such a huge geographical location, as well as different cultures, different time periods, different peoples that before those cultures were, or before those societies were Muslim, had different backgrounds also on top of it. Like, it's endless. So I have put my and I'm off my soapbox, my apology. So I have my tracing paper here, and I'm going to transfer it, so you can use any different things. I've got a glass straw here that has a nice round end, which I've been using recently. But so when we're painting these, there are quite a few layers that go on before we even get to the details. There we go. I know you cannot see it maybe that well, but there is something there. So I am going to use the yellow that I have here.
Yeah, Martin, it may well be a marigold. Who knows? The reason I said hollyhock is because
The top part?
The flower that you just drew, because they also grow on stalks like that, and actually for illumination we used the hollyhock petals to make a size, so which is a sort of Persian technique as far as I know. So I just thought that it might be quite a sort of significant flower to miniaturists and illuminators who use it in their in preparing their paper. But yes, it could be a marigold too, or it could just be something completely fantastical. Yeah,
which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. But the hollyhock thing is really interesting. I'm going to go look them up again. I have an idea in my head what they look like, to be sure.
Amelie is asking if you can keep the pencil drawing in the frame, because she wants to have a look.
All right, so now I'm putting a base color. I'm putting yellow as my base color for my flower. You can use whatever you like. I would suggest.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah. But one thing I would say is it's easier to go lighter to darker. It's hard sometimes unless you've got to do the opposite. No, you can, Zaina, you can paint your trees and your flowers however you like. I gave an option which I used malachite on the exterior and then some different greens inside. It's completely up to you.
So I'm just putting a link to the course that Susan mentioned at the Courtauld Institute in the chat. So if anyone's interested, just have a look at that. You're painting the flower that you've just drawn, aren't you, Laurelie?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's the one on the stalk. Somebody, Shireen, is saying that it's very faint. I wonder if, could you just pull the camera in a little bit closer?
That's about as far as that.
Yeah,
You're not going to see it because it's.
Yeah, you won't. Yeah, you won't see it very well, and you.
I can see it very easily, but.
Sure, it's a bit lighter on camera.
Yeah.
But I think they can see the pencil drawing quite clearly. So if they refer to that and refer to their own pencil drawings, then it should be okay.
Yeah, I'm not going freehand.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna mix a kind of pink color for the interior. I really like yellow and pink together.
Laurelie, I should just let you know that we've got 10 minutes to go. So
okay,
because you wanted a bit of time for question and answer, so you've got just a couple more minutes of painting time, I guess.
So you can put your questions in the chat box, and then Ayesha will read them to me, and I'll try to answer as many as I can while I'm painting. So get your questions answered, and we're still painting.
Someone's asking, when do you use watercolor and when do you use gouache?
When I want to have opaque lines or opaque shapes, I use gouache. And when I want to have that kind of fluid look like you get from watercolor, then I use watercolor. And then sometimes I use them both at the same time. Okay. Oh, I don't like that green. 1 second.
Sabah is saying that the Courtauld Institute is having a talk this Saturday about traditional and contemporary miniatures and colonialism. That sounds really interesting. And it accompanies an amazing exhibit at the SAI in Chicago. So that might be of interest to people on this group. Are there any more questions? The chat's gone quite quiet in terms of questions.
I know, I'm shocked. I don't have any questions then.
A link for the Courtauld, the contemporary miniatures talk. I can have a look. I think we
Becca, you can choose which flowers you want to add and which ones you don't. I'm merely just giving an example of what you can do. Also, in the slideshow that I showed, there are some examples of how you can put the trees and the flowers together. And then if you want to follow the original panel from Leighton House, there are just a few flowers by their feet. Hope that answers your question.
So I think these are, there are plenty of links just being put into the chat. So I've just put one to the Courtauld Institute and the talk that they're doing this upcoming Saturday on miniatures and post-colonial art, I think. And there are a few more links that people have posted too.
Oh, the pink is not showing up. It looks white, doesn't it?
It's very pale, yeah. It's almost. It's you can see it, but it's very light. So we've got like another 4 minutes left, so we should probably start winding up soon and having everyone show their work. But I mean, you take a couple more minutes if you still want to, Laurelie. I don't think there's a.
I'm just going to finish this last one here. And then the details on the handout I gave you will show you how to continue and add the different details.
So I'm just going to put a link in the chat to the Friends of Leighton House. So if anyone would like to make a donation, just follow the link and you can do that online.
Okay. So I'm just looking for the thing we need to screen share.
Saying I think you can just have fun with it, so don't worry about colors, using colors that are non-traditional. Just use whatever you fancy, really.
Sorry, it's just taking me a second to find it. Okay. Oh, for the love of all the thing that's good in the world. I'm having a hard time with this. There we go. Okay. Screen share. Okay, here we go. Just as a quick question, or just as a quick answer. For example, this is a location where you could put the flowers. It's down by the feet. Okay.
So thank you everyone for joining us. We've loved being with you and guiding you through these classes. It's been such a pleasure and a joy, especially to see your work afterwards as well, which is incredible. If you would like to share your work with us, please share on social media and tag us on Instagram at Ayesha_illuminates, Lulu Ateliers, and Leighton House Museum. Or you can email charlotte_villiers@rbkc.gov.uk. I've put a link in the chat to the Friends of Leighton House. So if you'd like to make a donation, then please go ahead and do that. We'd really appreciate it. And everything is going to be on our YouTube channel, Leighton House YouTube channel, very soon, very shortly. And apologies for the delay in getting those workshops up, but they will be up as soon as we can. And if you'd like to share your work and turn on your cameras, that would be fantastic. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Laurelie and Leighton House and Charlotte and everyone for making these workshops possible.
And Laurelie and Ayesha, again,
oh, wonderful.
For just wonderful classes. And I think the rapport between you both is just fascinating to listen to you talking and sharing your thoughts and ideas. So thank you. Amazing.
Oh, these look absolutely wonderful. Well done. Well done.
Oh my God, these are incredible.
It is so, if
Lynn,
you want
I
to
love yours.
of course. Let's,
They're fantastic.
oh, wonderful.
Well, they've got
These look,
such different moods.
yeah. So yes, very, very much looking forward to seeing you guys try to finish and try to come up with something to share with us.
Wonderful pencil
right.
drawings too. Oh,
yeah, of course, I noticed that.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you will get an email about the new courses in May.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Can Lynn show hers again? Can I see Lynn?
Where's
Can you
Lynn?
see Lynn's? Oh my God.
I want to see Lynn.
Where'd she go? I lost her. Oh my God, it's insane. Lynn, where'd you go?
Can we spotlight Lynn?
It's the one with all of the...
Yeah. It was crazy. She's
I
gone.
can see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think she's eased out.
Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you guys so much. This was insane. It was just so good. So good. So good. So good. And I can't wait till the May classes. And so nice seeing all these familiar names. And I feel like we got an awesome community here. Leighton House, you rock. I'm making my donation now.
Oh, thank you.
speaking.
All right. Well, hopefully you have a wonderful... Huh?
Who was that speaking? Sorry? Who was that?
Sabash.
Oh, Saba, thank you so much. That's back at you. You're amazing too.
It was just out of this world. Like I tell my whole family, do not bother me when these classes are on. This is my time. This is my meditation zone. And you guys have like triggered this whole love of miniatures now. Yeah. And that exhibit in Chicago is divine. It's mostly young artists from the National College of Arts that have taken a miniature painting and they're interpreting it in contemporary ways. So they've got Imran Qureshi, Shazia Sikandar. It's pretty wild.
Actually, I think I saw it being advertised on Instagram through somebody's account because I follow a couple of those artists and it did look incredible.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm in Chicago and I'm like, I want to go back to New York, but for once I'm happy I'm here. Thank you guys. I'll be seeing you in May.
Look
Can't
forward
wait.
to it. Take care, everybody.
Have a wonderful evening.
Send in your work and we'll see you in May. Bye.
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 Bye.